Why is it the Passover that becomes the memorial and the foundation? And is it the sacrifice of the innocent? And because it's the sacrifice of the lambs and the blood. And so is the idea here that the foundation of the proper state is the voluntary sacrifice of the innocent? Is that what's happening here?
No, I think that we need to see it really in terms of Egypt as opposites. So you have the end of a world, Egypt ends, God takes the seed out of Egypt. We have a new beginning, which is also based on sacrifice. It's based on voluntary sacrifice, but that's the magic of the Passover sacrifice. It's as if you're willing to give your firstborn to God, God will give him back to you. That's the surprise of willing sacrifice.
Okay, so is it founded on the principle of voluntary sacrifice?
I think so.
No.
You don't think so?
You don't think so? Okay.
I think the plain and obvious thing, this was the night of liberation.
Right. I agree with that.
They went out that night.
But there's also a sacrificial element.
That's there too, in the Passover, how it happened. But the basic thing, and they remember it through history, isn't it, Dennis? They were freed that night.
Well, we say in our prayers over and over, just as for the Christian, the crucifixion and resurrection are the central events, I believe, of Christian theology. The central events of Jewish theology, and I didn't make this up, it is constant in Jewish prayer, is creation and Exodus. If you deny either of those, and you're certainly free to, you have put yourself outside of Judaism. That is the Jewish normative view.
Yeah, but I think it's not necessary. So it's not a zero-sum game.
No,
we've been talking a lot
It's
about
not just
creation
sacrifice.
and redemption. These are two sides of the same coin. Just as for Christians, cross and resurrection are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, but it's a recreation of the world, and
Yeah,
you see
right.
it, right? So it is, but
is a
in
symbol
this
of life,
case,
a new
definitely
creation.
the giving up of your first fruits and the giving up of that which is primary to God, and then the surprise of God saying, actually, no, you can have it back, right? And I think that's definitely it's part of the story. It's not the only thing. I agree.
No, right. No, I wouldn't want to make it.
By the way, do any of you have a reaction? And I'm not, urging that there be one, but that idea that we Jews have to remember this because God may not intervene again, does that strike you as plausible? Because
you do have the mystery in the Bible in some sense, and maybe in history itself, is, well, if God was there so much in the times that are being described, where did he go as time progressed?
Right.
And that's the Deus abscondus problem, and I don't know exactly how to contend with that, but
do you think that God is not involved in Israel, in the existence of Israel?
I believe in the ultimate sense, there's no question. God is constantly the guardian of Israel. That's repeated. But it's clear that, most people don't know that in the 1660s, about the same percentage of Jews in Europe were murdered as were in the Holocaust, about a third. In 2/3 in the case of the Holocaust, I believe, but 1/3 in the Khmelnytsky pogroms in Ukraine and /Poland. God saves the Jewish people, but not the Jews. And that, by the way, I have comfort in that. I don't expect to be individually saved. But I just want to note that religious Jews in the death camps celebrated to the best of their ability the Seder. So here they are facing gas chambers and saying, "Thank you for saving us. We remember you saved us from Pharaoh." That's an incredible thing. And that's why I say it gives comfort, even though I'm not being saved now. But I know you intervened on our behalf.
I think it makes sense for people to believe in the fundamental ascendance of the Spirit that leads us from slavery under all conditions. Because to not have faith in that is really, in some sense, to lose faith in life itself. And so that would even be, if you're in the situation of a camp, what do you have to have faith in? Well, in some sense, just to live, and I think this is something Solzhenitsyn observed too, just to live under those conditions, you still have to believe in the ascendancy, the ultimate ascendancy of the Spirit that calls mankind out of tyranny.
And isn't it where the story picks up? Because God existed before the Jews were enslaved in Egypt. They existed when all the firstborn were killed, right? And so it sort of depends where it is, because you could say to them then when they were in Egypt before God said, I've heard the cries of my people. It's sort of the same position, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
That God
it's
wasn't-
not that God wasn't there, right?
Right,
So we
right.
get
Exactly correct.
Okay. So I would like to point out that we've got through one verse so far. That we should probably proceed.
Well, it was a biggie.
It was a big one.
biggie,
It was a big
okay.
one.
we need to get Shapiro in here reading.
7 days. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. And in the first day there shall be an holy convocation, and in the 7th day there shall be an holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat. That only may be done of you.